Hello everyone, we are your space explorers and today is another day to explore. Are you the type of person who prefers physics, space, or science in general? Well, lucky for you, today we will explore on the movie Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan in 2013. This movie is centered on a group of astronauts led by a former pilot, Joseph Cooper, who travels to a wormhole near Saturn to venture to a new habitable place for humanity. In the movie scenario, Earth is facing the inescapable possibility of extinction due to the crops dying from a severe blight that has wiped out significant plants such as wheat and okra, leading to the widespread famine.
Scene 1. Earth, Dust Bowl, and Dying Crops. At the beginning of Interstellar, Earth is shown as a dying planet plagued by constant dust storms and widespread crop failure. Cooper and his family struggle to survive as farmers, highlighting how environmental problems have deeply affected their daily life. Society is slowly collapsing, with food shortage and limited resources becoming the new normal. This scene reflects a future where Earth can no longer properly sustain a human life and forcing people to live in survival mode rather than progress. This scene is grounded in real scientific concerns related to climate change and environmental degradation. Poor land management, soil erosion, and extreme weather patterns can lead to dust storms similar to the historic Dust Bowl of the 1930s. Climate change can also disrupt ecosystems, reduce crop yields, and cause food shortage by altering rainfall patterns and increasing global temperatures. Scientifically, this shows how the collapse of ecosystems directly affect human survival, making Earth increasingly uninhabitable. Scene 2. Launch through Earth's atmosphere. In this scene, Cooper leads his family to join the Endurance mission, marking a turning point in the story. The rocket launch shows the spacecraft breaking free precision required during the launch and emphasizes how dangerous and complex the travel is, especially when humanity's survival depends on it. The launch scene is based on real physics principles such as rocket propulsion and gravity. To escape Earth's gravitational pull, a rocket must reach the escape velocity, which requires an enormous amount of thrust. According to Newton's third law, rockets move upward by pushing exhaust gases downward with great force. Inertia also plays a role as the spacecraft continues moving forward once it reaches orbit. This scene accurately represents the scientific challenge of overcoming gravity to travel into space.
Scene 3. Miller's Planet. In Interstellar, the crew travels to Miller's Planet, one of the candidate worlds explored through the wormhole near Saturn. The planet is shown to be covered almost entirely in shallow water and in numerous tidal waves caused by the nearby black hole Gargantua. Although Cooper, Brand, and Doyle spend only a short time in the planet, they later discovered that 23 years have passed for those waiting on the Endurance, especially Romilly. This scene emphasizes the irreversible cost of time and how scientific decisions directly impact human lives. The scene demonstrates gravitational time dilation, a key concept in Einstein's general relativity. Because Miller's planet orbits extremely close to the supermassive black hole Gargantua, the intense gravity shows time on the planet relative to Earth. In the film, 1 hour on Miller's planet equals 7 years on Earth. This effect is scientifically accurate in theory and is the direct result of gravity wrapping space-time.
Moving on to science fix. At scene 6 minutes 23 seconds, Cooper and his kids, Murphy and Tom, were on the way to a parent-teacher conference, where their truck got a flat tire. Cooper told Tom to patch the truck's damaged tire, but didn't have enough time because his father urgently demanded that they drive the truck to chase the Indian Air Force drone, and continued the chase while driving through the crops. In that scene, I'm going to explain what is scientifically incorrect. Driving a vehicle on a long distance with a flat and damaged tire on uneven terrain is extremely difficult. The car would lose traction, have poor control, and further damage the rim. Making turns and maintaining speed, as shown in the movie, is highly unrealistic. You should only drive for a short distance. under 20 mph, or 30 km per hour on a flat tire. Propose how this scene could be changed to make it more scientifically accurate. The scene could show the vehicle struggling to move after a short distance, wobbling or slowing down. Otherwise, the tire could have only slightly underinflated, having less air pressure than recommended for normal use, which would allow limited movement while keeping up the chase.
At 56 minutes 30 seconds to 1 hour 15 minutes on Miller's planet, the crew experienced extreme gravitational time dilation, where 1 hour on the plane equals 7 years on Earth, due to its proximity to the black hole Gargantua. While gravitational time dilation near a black hole is real, the level shown in the movie is highly unrealistic. For time to pass this slowly, the Earth would need to orbit extremely close to the black hole's event horizon. At such a distance, maintaining a stable orbit would be nearly impossible on the planet. The time dilation could be reduced so that 1 hour on the planet equals 1 or 2 years on Earth. This would still create serious consequences for the crew while allowing the planet to orbit at a safer distance from the black hole, making the scenario more scientifically plausible.
At 2 hours and 25 minutes to 2 hours and 40 minutes into the movie, Cooper falls into the black hole Gargantua and enters a 5-dimensional space where time is treated as a physical dimension. From here, he observes all moments of his daughter Murph's bedroom and sends messages to her in the past by manipulating gravity. This scene is extremely relevant, as it is inspired by Einstein's general relativity, which explains gravity as the curvature of space-time. However, the film goes beyond scientific limits. While relativity allows time dilation, it does not permit information to travel backward in time. Now, changing the gravity communication concept too much would contradict the core plot of the movie. But the scene can rather be refined and not entirely replaced by incorporating quantum entanglement in tandem with gravity. This uses real physics concepts while keeping gravity as a central theme.
In conclusion, what we learned from the movie as Dora's space explorer was beyond understanding physical science concept, but with intimate emotional stakes that hit us to our core. Interstellar ultimately teaches us that science and humility are not opposing forces, but complementary ways in the essence of life. Though concepts such as relativity, time dilation, black holes, and higher dimensions, the film tells us that time is not absolute but elastic in real physics. Time is capable of stretching, slowing, and separating people across unimaginable distances. The scientific idea is symbolized through mechanisms that depend the emotional loss Cooper faced in her relationship with his daughter, Murph. The movie argued on the fact that knowledge alone is insufficient without human connection. No matter how many equations could explain how to travel from one planet to another, problems persist if love is not what drives us to endure it. It's not saying that this quote is rejecting science, but iterating that human bonds remain even when time becomes fragmented by relativistic effects. Love functions as a carrier of information which guides our choices when logic reaches its limits. The film left us with the idea that time and space may be dimensions we move through helplessly, but meaning is something we create. Sacrifice, curiosity, and the connections we choose to protect, even when time or space stands in our way.